It's been an honor to get to talk to you about Benfica football. I have learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure I will learn much more. And it's been a pleasure to know you as a person, and also all the professional skills I already know you have. So it's a great honor to have you in this run for Benfica. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of Benfica no Sangue, because I know you also have a Benfica no Sangue.
Thank you for your kind words. I don't speak Portuguese yet, so I have to speak in English. I do my best to explain it in the best way I can, but also English is not my home language. You found a lot about me if you wanted to on the internet, and maybe it's good to introduce, to say something about myself you can't find. I was born in Amsterdam, born and raised in the north part, with a family where many people in that time, in those days, worked with their hands. They were painting, they were working with wood, they were working on the street, they were workers, they were labor. And the atmosphere was direct, straight, and honest. If you asked a question, you got a yes, and it was fine. Or you got a no, don't come back. It was quite clear. And in that atmosphere, I was born and raised, and I felt quite comfortable, and I never lost it. I kept it with me, I think, and I hope. Now Benfica knocked on the door. Martin knocked on the door. And we all have some kind of strange characteristic. And one of mine is that I started to read about football very, very young. At the moment I could read, I think I started to read about football. So I know about Benfica, Real Madrid in the Amsterdam Olympic Stadium. I know it was 5-3. I know Puskas, Di Stefano and Ginto were playing in Real Madrid. And I know our hero here was playing. And I know Eusébio was playing. And I read about the story. It must have been a magic evening. And a few years later, there was a match in Europe, European Cup. Ajax-Benfica was the first match. And it ended up in Amsterdam 1-3. And I read about the surprise, about the Amsterdam guys having a little bit too much confidence, being surprised by those Portuguese guys. And I lost 1-3. Then 2 weeks later, the Portuguese guys had the same problem. A little bit too much confidence. So they lost 1-3. And then we just discussed it during lunch. There was a decisive match in Paris. And Louis van Gaal was there as a young, very young spectator. Mr. Schilmers was there as a player. And Ajax won. We won. But I always remembered that name, Eusébio. And it had to be like that this morning. So Martin picked him up at the airport. He said, we have to make one picture at the stadium. So he drove to the stadium. He stopped for the statue of Eusébio, and the picture was just in front of Eusébio. And that was the way it had to be. You didn't know, but thank you. And I think that some clubs have it. One player who is characteristic for the club. And I think in Bayern Munich, many stars. But Beckenbauer is the one. In Ajax, many stars. But Johan Cruyff is the one. And here's Eusébio. And yeah, the request to speak to Martin, yeah, it opened my heart. I thought, Jesus, that's the club of Eusébio. That's that brilliant stadium. But I'm too long in football to go for a stadium or a name of a player. I wanted to see the plan. I wanted to read the plan. And that plan was clear, was straight, was honest, was written from the north of Amsterdam. I recognized, I understand this, it's clear, and it's written from the heart of those people working with their hands, painting the wood and the street. it's for them. It's for the fans, it's for the members. And recognizing this story, I thought this is a good plan. And if the job is what I can, what I'm capable of, I think I want to do that. I want to be part of that plan. And then it's important how I look at your club. I think Benfica should play every year to be champion of Portugal, to win the Cup of Portugal, every year. You won't win it every year, but that should be the intention with the first team and with the women's team. I think in Europe, you have to be honest, the big wallet is not in Portugal. You have a country similar like I was. It's not the biggest. I don't think most money is here compared to, for example, England, Germany, Spain, and France. But you can do a good job. So in Europe, you should always be between 8 and 24. And those years where you are smarter than all others, you might end up even higher than the first 8 or 24. You might surprise the big clubs. You have to go for that. And Benfica should also play in a certain way. And I tried to find out with Martim, with Mr. Simões, what's that style of Benfica? And I think they were clear to me. People want a team that wins, but they also want to be entertained. Where did they hear that before? Was it in Barcelona? Was it in Amsterdam? Was it in London? I think that's recognizable for me. Winning, but also playing in an attractive, entertaining way. And the whole should be anchored in a Benfica environment, in a country where many, many people, hundreds of thousands of people, are member or fan of this huge club. And people should love that club for the way they play, for the way they are. And I think I want to be part of that. And then I have to do something for that. And I think the best way to explain is to give you a few examples about how I see things. And one of the responsibilities I'm going to have is the women's team. That connects. The last 3 years I've been coach of the Netherlands, of the women's team. I've done many things in women's football. I know my way. And I think you have understood, don't miss the train. So 2 years ago, Ajax qualified for quarterfinal. Ajax Chelsea in the big arena in Amsterdam. 35,000 people. That's a fine. 35,000 people in Amsterdam in the arena. Arsenal women, they usually play in Emirates. And then if they play in Emirates, they play for 60,000 people every game. And not all of you know that. Don't miss the train. The English national team, most home games, they play in Wembley. They play for between 70 and 90,000 people. It's developing quite quickly. And a club like Benfica has to be there. And yes, we are in Champions League already. Unfortunately, we lost 2-1 at Juventus. But we have to work, we have to create, we have to develop. There has to be a good academy where young girls can step in. And we need to create a good women's department. Also, of course, members and fans can be female. And they are, I think, in those days, just as important as all those male members and fans. So that's one, women's football from my side, support, and they can be glad I come in. Scouting, yeah, that's an important part. It's not, most time, not inside the club. Of course, it's inside the club because you have to know who's playing for you. That's not what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about the external scouting. And if you can be a club which develops half of the team by themselves, that also means you have to find half of the team somewhere else. So you need to have a good scouting team who knows what to do, who knows what to look for, who knows what's missing. Bayern Munich, Louis got an outstanding team, I think. He changed the idea behind the team, no 2 strikers, but 3 strikers. and then one link was missing. And Arjen Robben came in, and then it was done. That was the link that was missing, and we became champion. We won the German Cup. We were in the Champions League final, which we lost from a certain coach. And we won the German Super Cup. So, scouting, quite important, but it has to be organized, and it has to be related to all the work what we are doing in the club by ourselves with our own boys. And that's what I'm coming to now, youth development. I think if you want to be successful on the very short term, you can buy a team. If you want to be successful on a little bit longer term, you have to educate, you have to develop your own players. You need a good scouting department at the young ages, and you need to develop those players. And Arsenal, they used to say, we are the Arsenal, dot. And it said everything at the club. They did it in their way. And when I was the academy manager over there was a small, young kid in the under-14s. He was not small, he was strong. And he started to grow. And he grew every month. And by the end of the season, he was the tallest and the strongest of all. He could run faster than all the other ones. He could shoot much harder than all the other ones. And his coach was Luke Hobbs. Nobody heard from Luke Hobbs. He's still in England. He's doing an outstanding job. He was a good coach for this kid. And the next year, a former star from Arsenal asked me, do you mind if I coach a youth team? I said, no, Freddie Lundberg. I don't mind if you coach a youth team. You join us half a year, you learn a couple of things, and then you do that team. And that tall player went to him. And we kept wondering, is this kid that good because he's tall and strong? Or is he really, really top talent? And Freddie worked with him every time. I managed to keep him in the club, gave him a scholarship contract. And when I left Arsenal, I left that kid thinking he might be a good one, no more. But this guy, Bukayo Saka, is one of the biggest stars in English football. Developed in Arsenal itself, came in with 9 years old. We kept him, we protected him, we tried to do the best we could. And we created a huge value of a very important player. If they sell him, it will go over 100 million pounds. If they keep him, they'll have one of the best wingers in Europe. So, your own youth development, and their way, we are the Arsenal. That's what we can do as well. But we have to create the opportunity and the chance for our own players. Those women can look forward to me coming in. Those young players also. If they're good enough, they will have a chance. In the B team, in the under 23, important part at the end of youth development. And I remember in Bayern Munich, I took in my third year, when I left the first team, I had to do the B team. And I spoke to the head of youth development, and he said, I don't want you to pick any player until Christmas from the under 17. Okay. And from the under 19s, neither. Not one player. Okay. But if somebody is really good, I think he should play in the B team. No. We didn't have any rest in the team, in the club. It was a chaos. We want structure. We want clarity. We're not going to do that. I didn't agree, but okay, he was the boss. And he said, there's one exception. I said, who's that? It's an under 17 boy. Who's that? It's Emre Can. Who's Emre Can? He's playing for Germany under 17, and he's going to play for you. I felt something is wrong. So I asked the guy, why is that? Because we don't know what to do with him. And then you give him to me. Yes. So Emre came back from the World Championship, and he behaved like a very proud player. He was only 17, the youngest in my squad. And on the pitch, he did all kinds of complicated tricks, losing many balls. So, Emre, what are you doing? I'm doing my best. I can see that, but after a few games, I said, Emre, this doesn't work. I want you to play in the team as a team player. That's what I'm doing. And then the next game, I took him off after 5 minutes, after losing a ball in the dribble in our own defense, having a goal against us. And I said, what am I going to do with this kid? He's considered to be one of the biggest talents in Germany, and he's just making a mess. So again, Emre, what's going on? And he said, Coach, we have to entertain the people. Emre, there is 400 people watching our games. Your objective should be improve yourself, make it to the first team, play for 70,000, and when it's 3-0 for Bayern Munich, then we are going to entertain the people. Another poor match. And then the last thing I could do, I took his video, I put all his pictures on a row. Emre, what do you have to do in this situation? I have to play much quicker. Oh. And in this situation, I just have to play one touch. And in this situation, I should fight for the ball. Emre, you understand? Yes, I didn't know I was doing this all wrong. So, can we start to work now? Yes, we can. And then he played a couple of months for me. And in December, Joep Heynckes, some of you know Joep Heynckes, remember him?
Yes, of course.
He called me, he was coach here, Joep, and he called me in December, he said, you have such a poor team, I don't think you have any talent who can join us in training camp in January, somewhere in the Middle East. I said, Joep, I have one. Do you? Yes, Emre Can. How old is he? 17. Is he big enough? Yes, he's big enough. 185. Okay. Well, if you are convinced, if you say so, I will bring him with me. So, Emre, you're going to training camp to the Middle East with Joep Heynckes. That's nice. I'm going to work for it, coach. I'm going to make you proud. I hope so, Emre. So after 3 days, phone call from Emre. Coach, Mr. Heynckes told me I'm not supposed to play for you anymore. And then there was Emre Can, left Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Liverpool, Juventus, and is now the captain of Dortmund. Bayern is Mia San Mia. Arsenal is we are the Arsenal. Bayern is Mia San Mia. We do it in our way. And that's what they do. And their way, they're very successful. And to be successful, you need a second team. And you need coordination, communication between the head coach and the one doing the B team. And otherwise, you miss a talent like Emre Can. In the first team, I want to give you the example of Barcelona with Louis. One day in pre-season, first day we had to practice, a very pale young boy came in. He was like this. I'm not that tall. I was like this. Curly black hair, very pale, with a plastic bag. And he went to Louis's office, and I saw him going. Maybe he's bought some things in the supermarket or something. I don't know. So he came out. So, Louis, who is he? He's a player of us. Player? He's a kid. No, he's a player. Okay, we go to the dressing room, and Louis has a speech, and he's introducing that player. All players rise. Luis Enrique, Patrick Kluivert, Saviola. They all rise. They give a huge applause for that player. Chosen as an under 16 to be the best player European Championship under 18. And they all respected that kid. And in Camp Nou at the time, we had to walk through the stadium to the training pitch for a couple of 100 meters. And I watched the kid. And I thought, he's too small. So again, I went to Louis. It's good to go to him several times. He gets annoyed with it. Louis, he's really too small. I know. But they say he's a good player. So we're going to see it. So we're going to have warming up first training. And the kid, his coordination is outstanding. And then we do a passing drill. What we often did. Both feet, left foot, right foot. And the boy was one of the best. So I go to Louis to the third time. Louis, he's a really good player. I've seen it. You need to work together. Barcelona, més que un club, more than a club. It has meaning when a young boy comes from the own cantera, the own youth, and makes it up. This was Andres Iniesta. I didn't know Iniesta. I saw a pale little boy, and I really doubted. He is too young, he is too small, this is impossible. In that year, he made his debut, and we all know the story about Andrés Iniesta. The main message is we have to work together. Scouting has to be related to youth development. Youth development has to be related and connected to the B team, and the B team has to be connected to the first team. And someone has to take care of it. I think in the army, there are the ground forces, there is the sea forces, the navy, and there is the air forces. They have to work together. You cannot defend yourself without the other two. You cannot attack without the other two. You have to work together. And this club, Mia Samia, we are the Arsenal Meskin Club. Nu Sangue. We have this in our blood. And if you want this, if you want to play this Benfica football, and we want to play with half a team from our own kids at least, and we want to bring in players that can achieve results in Portugal and in Europe, then we have to work together. Yeah, and somebody has to coordinate it, and I would look forward to doing that. And of course, there is the question, yes, I have to work together with José Mourinho and Mr. Branco. If I can work together with Louis van Gaal, with Arsene Wenger, with Joop Heynckes, I think I can work together with Mr. Mourinho and Mr. Branco as well. And I know, of course, there is a situation, and I understand Benfica has not won enough prizes in recent years. So there's a huge desire to win a prize. And if you look at the CV of José Mourinho, he has been extremely successful. So I think the main thing to do is to support him. Hopefully he will win. Hopefully we will be champion. Hopefully we will win the Portuguese Cup, and hopefully we will be successful in Europe. So we have to support José Mourinho, and Mr. Branco can continue to do his job. They have to continue. They have to try to make us successful, and it's completely understandable for me if this huge desire for success is there. That's a choice for a coach like Mourinho. I checked his CV last night to be sure. In Amsterdam we say unbelievable, unbelievable. So all confidence in them, and I don't expect any problem. Then there is this big question, will this man be chosen for president? And I think it's not that easy. Those people from the north of Amsterdam, honest, direct, straight, if they would have the choice to choose for themselves or not, they would. And all those members and fans of Benfica, if you have this choice and there is a plan, thought from the hearts of those fans and members, thinking of everything in the club, intending to win prizes, to play attractive football, and to give own boys, when it's about the men's department, chances, I would know what to choose as a fan. I cannot think of anything else. Also the women's part, my heart will be with them, so I will help them. So I think all together, this is a huge plan. I have all confidence in it. I hope you will be chosen. I hope the fans and the members will understand this. And if they make the right choice, I'm happy to join you. Thank you.
Benfica!